Hi and welcome back to the channel. It is week 15 and it is a slower week this week, so I thought I would just do a general update on what's been going on in my life. I'm out here, today's Friday of week 15. Didn't film obviously earlier this week. It was just kind of a low-key week. But, oh, car. Driving way too fast, I think. But anyways. But I thought I'd use this little run out here. I'm actually doing a 5K style workout. And I'm here in the middle of the day, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. But thought I would just update on what's been going on. So I'll start with training. Training's been great. I actually had a really good run yesterday. I just went out to our local fairgrounds and did 3 miles, started my watch, didn't look at it, no walking, just ran a very comfortable pace, didn't push it or anything, and it was a 9:52 overall pace for the 3 miles, which was amazing. I was very pleased with that, and it was on sore and tired legs. There's a lot of activity out here today. I've been doing regular weights this week, so I'm a little sore, still a little sore. Okay, now that the noise has gone away there for a second, still a little sore, but the reason why I'm very happy with that is because, drum roll, I am running 2 races next week because I'm a sucker for a good challenge medal. Next week is our fall break up here in North Georgia, and we are going, or we being me and my husband, are going to Florida. Undisclosed location, you'll find out next week where I'm going. But I'm running a 5K, and then the next day I'm running a half marathon, and I am super excited about it. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here on my first walk break once I start my 5K interval workout that I'm doing today. And it is beautiful out here. The reason why I'm out here in the middle of the day is because it's been in the 40s and 50s in the morning, and for my races next week it's going to be in the 70s, so I figured I should get at least a couple more runs in warmer weather, just to get in my mind that I can still run when it's hot, because my really good run yesterday it was like 52 degrees. So anyway, let's get this workout started and I'll talk about my races next week and my goals. Okay, yeah, there's a difference when the temperature is a little bit warmer. So speaking of all that, so 5K and a half next week. I feel very confident in my goals for my 5K, which, it's like that whole ABC thing. And I don't know if these are really in any particular order, but I want to PR the 5K. My current PR is a 27:50 something. So with the math, if I can maintain a 9:15, ish, and then, really be able to, towards the end there, kind of kick it up a notch a little bit, I should be able to get a new PR. It's flat. Oh gosh, I'm about to run. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'll use my whole break if I need to. Goals for the 5K. PR. If I'm able to PR or get a sub 28, I should be able to place my age group. So those are actually the 3 goals. PR. If not a PR, then continue sub 28, sub 30, and place in my age group. Now for the half, it is a certified course. So I'm gonna try for a proof of time. I know I can't use it for marathon weekend, but at least I'll have one for any future races that it would qualify for, you know. I realized I've never actually raced a half. My only official half was Disney, and of course I did not race that. But I think I figured it out. If I can maintain a 10, 13-ish pace, you know, I should be able to get a sub 2:15, which I think is what you need for a proof of time. Okay, so those are my goals. And then if you complete both those races, you get an extra special challenge medal, which I'll be excited to share next week. I think the last thing I wanted to update on was my foot that I've mentioned before. I actually went to a specialist that I saw last year. We had discussed possibly doing surgery on it after marathon weekend. But I kind of told him that, you know, the first couple weeks of marathon training was bothering me. But I changed what shoes I wear on just daily wearing around, and you know, care of my feet, soaking them, that type of thing. It hasn't bothered me that much. He's like, well, if that's the case, it is not time for surgery yet. You're not at that level. But the reason why I kept the appointment, I figured he'd say that, was because that's my right foot. My left foot has started bothering me. Different type of pain. It always feels bruised. And when he looked at it, it's actually the joint, that same joint as on my right foot, but it's developed kind of an arthritic thing. And the actual tendon that runs on the underneath, as part of your plantar fascia, is tight compared to my other foot. So he said that one thing that'll help is to make sure that I keep it loose, keep it stretched, and just do all the things that I've been doing. And if I feel like I need it, right at the beginning of taper, I can go get a cortisone shot, which I probably will do. And I have a doctor here that can do that. But I've used cortisone on my other foot before it became nerve pain, and it does work very well for me. So I'll probably end up doing that after I run my marathon for time. I will go in and get that shot and give it time to do its thing before marathon weekend. All right, gotta run. All right, last little walk break for my last 3-minute set of 5K pace. Still dealing with this cough. Did finally go to the doctor. They just said it's a sinus infection, so gotta get the antibiotic, time to work. But I think that was all the updating I needed to do. If there's anything I forgot, I've made a list and left it at home. I will do it during med lesson time. Good morning. It's Saturday morning, and we're gonna close this video out. I remembered what I meant to talk about during the other thing I meant to talk about during my run yesterday was I am doing one more fundraiser attempt for Kelsey's Hope that I'm really excited about. Oh, and I have my co-host right here, and then my other little co-host is down there, so if you hear her noises, that's what that is. Hi, buddy. For the 20-mile run coming up on our plan, I decided, hey, why not make it a fundraiser? So what the deal is you can pledge per mile how many of those miles you think I can complete in 4 hours. So if you think I can complete 18 of them in 4 hours, you can pledge $1 per mile, and you would pay $18 or 50 cents per mile. And then if I complete 18, it's you get the idea. $9 for 18. Anyway, so pledge per mile. If you're interested in pledging for the 20-mile run, I'll be doing it the last Saturday of October, I think is when that run is. So send me a message, leave a comment, anything like that if you'd like to participate in pledging and help me with this. This will be my last fundraising attempt for Kelsey's Hope Foundation, and I'm so appreciative, by the way, of everyone that has donated up to this point. I have reached my goal, but I am all about being an overachiever and just, you know, going over the top, because this is such a great cause. Oh, hello. Okay, got everybody comfortable now. So send me a message, leave a comment, you know, contact me any way you have the ability to if you'd like to submit a pledge per mile for the 20-mile run. And of course I'm capping it at 20 miles because that's how far I'm supposed to run that weekend. So Oh, and the other thing that I discovered this morning that I want, reason why I'm making sure I finish this up this morning, I was talking about my goals for that 5K. For some reason, I didn't see this when I signed up for the race, but that 5K is entirely on the beach. So, I'm still gonna try for my PR, but just putting it out there now. Running on the beach is a whole different animal. I'm sure they're gonna have us on packed sand, but if you've ever ran on the beach before, even when it's packed sand, you don't get quite as much push off because there's just that little bit of give. So I'm still gonna give it, my best shot that I can, and I could still do it. It's been a while since I've ran on the beach, so, but I'm really excited to share all those races next week. You'll see video, all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so we're on marathon number 14 in our MEB book. His key lesson: it's important to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but it's more important to set new goals and focus on the future. And he talks a little bit about that, but there's actually kind of like a secondary underlying lesson that I liked from this race. Oh, and it was the 2010 New York City Marathon. He placed 6th with a time of 2:11:38. And he talks about going into that race, he felt completely ready to defend his title because if you remember in 2009, the year before, he had won that race. And he felt like he could defend that title, but that day just wasn't his day. And he talks about how that race went. But the thing that I wanted to share from what he said in the chapter was there was points during the race where he had certain thoughts going through his head. We all have that, especially with these longer distances where we have time to think, we get, sometimes those negative thoughts get into our heads. So I wanted to share this little paragraph where he talks about that. We all have tough days in training and racing and life in general. Even on your best days, you probably have to weather tough patches. With experience, you learn how to refute or ignore the negative thoughts that plague you in those moments. You learn how to refocus and break the downward spiral of negative thoughts leading to worse performance, which leads to more negative thoughts, which leads to an even worse performance, and so on. I usually break free with both physical and psychological messages to myself. Physically, I concentrate on specific elements of my running form. Are my shoulders relaxed? Is my cadence light and quick? To reset my attention to the task at hand. Psychologically, I think about why I'm doing what I'm doing, reminding myself that these negative thoughts are inevitable, but they don't have to win. I loved that paragraph, and I knew I wanted to share it in this video because I have to work on this, especially when I'm doing, I'm getting ready. Today I want to do a 10K pace workout. I'm going to do it on the treadmill. For the same reason I ran outside in the middle of the day yesterday, just because it's so cool outside. I want my body to remember that next week when I'm racing, it's going to be quite warm. So I'm going to run on the treadmill specifically for that reason. But, running on the treadmill can get really boring. So I do that. I'll think about my running form, especially on the treadmill. And then in any workout I'm doing, when I start to be like, oh, this doesn't feel good, I'm really hot, or my legs are tired, I try to focus on what is going right. I'll think about, oh wow, my foot that, I've been worried about, it isn't bothering me, or, my breathing isn't super heavy, if this feels comfortable as far as my breathing goes, and focus on what's going right. I think a good percentage of running is just all up here. But I would, once again, like I've said before, encourage you, if you've never read this book, buy it, because what he talks about, how all the thoughts that were going through his mind during that race, it's a good story, another good story to read. The other thing I was sharing with somebody that I've gotten because I used to get really nervous before races, even just little 5Ks when I first started running, I would get really nervous, and that would affect how that race would feel and how it would do. So what I've started doing is I do a lot of visualizing. I've gotten to where I'll purposely sit down, close my eyes, and place myself in that start line, and let myself feel the nerves, but then try to redirect it into being excited, thinking about my goal, how much fun this is going to be, racing in a new place. I've never done these races before next week, so I'm really excited. Sadie is snoring, and she's very loud. So I do that in advance so that when I get to the start line, I already know what to do with those nerves that are going to come. And it's actually worked really well. I don't get that stomach feeling nearly as much as I used to. So visualizing, just like if you went out for a long run on our plan and you're sitting with in the recovery position with your legs up, just use that time to close your eyes and place yourself at your next race start line and just think about doing completely awesome and how amazing it will be, because I think it really does help. So I hope everyone's training is going well. We've had absolutely beautiful weather here. So hopefully the fact that it's been so cool here won't affect me next week when I'm back in humidity. Of course, I love humidity, but in, race start 70-something degree weather. But I'm super excited about it. And I gotta leave these guys, of course. They're not coming with us, but we'll see them when we get back. Say hi. Want to say hi to the camera? Okay, so leave me a comment. Let me know how your training's going. Have you had any races during training, and how do you navigate training in the long term for something like Goofy and these races in between? I've just, like I mentioned at the beginning, I've just been kind of mashing up training plans together. So hopefully that was a good move. We'll see next week, but be sure to give this video a like and subscribe. I'm so excited to video these races next week and share them with you guys. Hopefully it'll go well. And I'm really excited because my husband's running the 5K with me, so that'll be fun. Always remember that you are God's masterpiece, and I will see you next week in Florida.